According to Kathleen McCarthy, PhD, Dean of Harvard Graduate School of Education, there is an increasing evidence that children gain a lot from going to preschool. At preschool, they become exposed to numbers, letters, and shapes, and more importantly, they learn how to socialize.
Kaya naman ang mga magulang ay talagang naglalaan ng kanilang budget para mai-enroll ang kanilang mga anak sa preschool.
So even with the government's K-12 program, there is still a huge demand for private preschools here in the Philippines. Kaya kung gusto niyo mag-venture sa preschool industry sa ating bansa, well, alamin natin kung ano-ano nga ba mga dapat ihanda at dapat isaalang-alang. Dito lamang sa inyong Business School on Air, ang
Bread and Butter!
Sinusunod dito ang standard ng USA at ang teaching strategies and methodologies ng US National Association for the Education of Young Children. Alamin natin kung paano nga ba ito nagagawa ng Greenmeadows Learning Center. Okay, to give us an idea on how a learning center is being operated, makakasama natin ngayong araw na ito ang directress ng Greenmeadows Learning Center, si Miss Ana Villaluna. Hi!
Hi, good morning.
Miss Ana. Oh, okay, Miss Ana, I know this is actually a very difficult business to put up.
Yes.
Pero how long have you been doing this?
Well, we've been operational since 1999. Yes.
Why did you start to put up this kind of business?
Well, during that year, there were very limited non-traditional schools here in Metro Manila, and I felt that to basically cater to children with varying needs and varying skills, those with exceptional needs or developmental concerns, it was best to put up a non-traditional setting for young children in the early childhood age group.
Ilang taon yung usual na mga estudyante nyo dito sa Greenmeadows?
Well, during the early 2000s, mas bata yung pumapasok. We had an age range of 1.5 years old all the way till 5 years old. And as times have changed and as younger families start bringing up their children, the age group sa ngayon has gotten a bit older, 3 years old na usually, or sometimes they start at 2.5 and still the big school age at 5 years old.
So it really changes along the way?
It really changes, you know, as the economies of scale also varies. Nagbabago rin yung enrollment patterns ng mga family.
Greenmeadows Learning Center adapts the progressive method of instruction. Aside from the pen and paper activities, they also use tactile materials. They also follow the standard of USA and education of young children.
Is it best to put this kind of business inside the village?
Well, for us, it is an advantage because of the safety and security of young children.
Usually, I know maraming permits sa kailangan before you put up this kind of business.
Yes.
Ano-anong klaseng mga permits
Okay,
ito?
so before you set up a school, definitely you have the SEC permit. You know, you incorporate. So you get a corporation, or you get basically, you know, a standalone or a one-time ownership. And then after you finish already the SEC papers, you work on your business permit, and alongside with that, you basically get, for schools that do not cater to 5 years old and above, you get a DSWD permit. For schools that would cater to a pre-kinder level, you get a DepEd permit.
So yun yung parang mga additional
Yes,
from the
additional,
usual.
from the additional. And then alongside with that, of course, you get also training for first aid and the sanitation permit and then the earthquake permit
Ayan,
and all the other permits that goes with the safety and security measures of running a preschool.
Kapag single proprietorship, sa Department of Trade and Industry o DTI magpaparehisto. Sa Securities and Exchange Commission o SEC naman, kapag partnership or corporation, mahalaga rin na mag-apply ng business permit sa syudad kung saan ka magtatayo ng prep school. Kailangan din irehistro ang negosyo sa Bureau of Internal Revenue o BIR.
And with regards naman sa mga teachers, how many teachers ba should we hire if you're going to run this kind
Depending on the number of classes that you are offering, in our case, we have 3 levels. We have the pre-primary, which is the younger age group. Then we have the primary, which is the middle age group, the 3s and 4s, and then the intermediate class, which is preparatory to the big school. So ideally, in each of the classes, you have 2 main teachers, and your teachers basically have to be equipped with a background in early childhood education, psychology, or teaching early grades or education.
How was the experience of putting up this kind? Is it more of challenging rather than satisfaction?
No, Rodel. Setting up a preschool is actually like the infancy age of bringing up a child. It is parallel and simultaneously challenging as well. The birth pains are also something that you take into consideration, because even if you have the vision to put up and, let's say, solely confine yourself into the progressive program, there are also challenges along the way in terms of the demands of the big schools. Because parents right now expect that once they put their child in a preschool setting, once a child is ready for the big school, which is the 5 and 6-year-old level, that the skills and the acceptance is usually 100%. And there are very limited big school choices usually na pinagpipilian ng mga magulang ngayon. If parents or let's say interested individuals would like to consider setting up a preschool, return of investment or ROI is usually on the 3rd year. That's if, let's say, you meet your goals on the marketing and also on the business side. But usually as educators, the business side is actually our last priority.
Final tip siguro sa lahat ng mga televiewers, especially if there are also some educators out there who are planning to put up their own learning center someday. What can you share to them?
Well, one is know your philosophy and program. Know how you would want your preschool to be, and then manage it in the sense that you are not only directing it on a personal level, but also focused on the skills of the children for each of the levels that you will be offering for your classes. And then second, have a very strong program philosophy that you will abide with. Hindi ka pwedeng pabago-bago, because once you don't know or do not understand your program philosophy, then even your curriculum, even the directions that you will give your teachers will be very difficult to address. Put your heart into the business, because it will be a very challenging way financially, and also the marketing aspect will also be something that you will be considering, because right now parents do not only consider the school but logistics because of considering the traffic right now.
Yes, that's
and
correct.
The availability of other learning center facilities and services.
Greenmeadows Learning Center is located at Lovebird Street, Greenmeadows Subdivision, Quezon City.
It was established in September 2008 in Corinthian Hills Clubhouse. Its programs consist of Mathmagic Singapore Math program and more. At ito pa, meron itong 1-week free trial classes. Alamin natin ang strategy na ito ng Hills Learning Zone. Okay, makakasama ko po ngayon si Ms. Silvana Baile and Blos Villafuerte, coordinator and owner of Hills Learning Zone. First, can you please tell us about your programs and your 1-week free trial classes?
Okay, one of our programs is our preschool program. So we have a preschool program for 1-year-olds. It's called the Little Tykes Explorer class. And then we also have a program for the 2-year-olds, the toddler class.
Yes.
And we also have for the 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds. So that's the junior and senior class.
I see. What other, I heard you have yung parang daycare.
Yes, aside from the preschool programs
Yes.
that we have, we also have daycare services and academic tutorials from preschool, grade school, high school, until college level.
Now, how do you determine your potential markets?
We are located in the Ortigas Center
Yeah,
area.
medyo
So
busy.
it's busy.
Madaming condos.
Yes, a lot of condominiums, offices. So it's very central. And besides that, we are located close to some of the big schools. So that's our market basically. It's more of the, I would say, middle working class. Yes.
Pero dito sa area na to, medyo yung competition, madaming preschools, right? Kasi medyo napansin ko. So, paano nyo hinahandle yun? I think yun yung isa sa mga challenges that you face, right?
Yes, yes. Well, one is really of course, the quality of education that we give. That's why we really, whenever there are inquiries, talagang sinasabi namin sa kanila, very individualized yung program.
Isang paraan upang malaman ang klase at kalidad ng curriculum mo ay pag-alam kung ano ang kailangan sa target area mo. Magagawa ito sa pagsasagawa ng short survey sa mga magulang o kaya ay pag-organize ng forum sa isang community para matiyak ang attendance, makipag-coordinate sa Homeowners Association at mag-provide ng libreng snacks para maka-attract ng attendees.
Compared to other businesses, of course, being a learning center, it requires a lot of personal relationships with the families that you're working with. In terms of maintaining the programs, it's easier because you don't have to keep reinventing yourself. As long as you have the program and you know this is the program the parents want, then you can stick to it. Compared to other businesses, you have to always change things, you have to innovate in terms of products or whatever. If you have a restaurant, you have to change your menu. So in terms of loyalty from the customers, I think it's harder to keep the loyalty if it's another business. But here, as long as the children are good with the school, the parents are happy, then you even get referrals after.
In terms of the day-to-day operations, like let's say teachers, the workload of the teachers is also pretty tedious because we are a progressive preschool, we are a progressive school, so that means, like I mentioned a while ago, the very individualizing programs namin. So each report is also different from another. So that's in terms of paperwork, it also varies. But in terms of the business side, I think as long as lahat, everything's submitted already, and then you really keep track of the finance as well, then it's pretty much good. As long as we really
Easier to run.
Yes.
I would also like to add, I think what Blas is saying, in terms of the business side, as long as you have the system already
In place.
it's easier. But yung the day-to-day, the actual classroom, what's happening in the classroom, yun yung tedious. Because, of course, every day is different. That's the thing, diba? Every day, even though you have the same students, every day they come in with a different attitude, different mood. So, iba-iba talaga. That's I think, one of the challenges.
Can we talk about naman siguro, kunyari ako magtatayo ako ng preschool, kahit ballpark figure lang, do I need a mil, at least 2M para makapagtayo ng school? Yung basic.
Basic for a learning center like this, I would say ballpark somewhere around maybe 2 to 3 million.
Okay, eto naman, any tips and advice para sa ating mga televiewers just in case gusto nilang magtayo ng preschool?
So tips, I would say, number one, if you want to have a learning center or a preschool, number one is you have to have the passion for it. It's not easy. It's not an easy business to run because you have to deal with children and, of course,
Parents of the
families.
children.
Yes, with families. So I think passion is number one. Second is you have to enjoy it. You have to have fun. And hard work, of course, is always there because you have to, once you have your learning center set up, you have to take care of everyone, your staff, the teachers. So you need a lot of hard work.
I really have to also research in terms of the feasibility. Let's say, okay ba sa area na to? About the market, you really have to know, somehow, anticipate what kind of market are you targeting, what strategies are you going to be using, so that, of course, you don't just put it up and without prior knowledge as to what you're putting up. So I think that's pretty much it in terms of our tips.
Okay. Thank you so much. That was very enlightening. Thank you so much,
Thank you.
guys.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Heels Hills Learning Zone is located at 2nd floor, Park Chateau Condominium, Onyx Road, Ortigas Center, Pasig City. You may contact them at 02638-7844 and 0917-896-0046.
Last year lang na-establish ang learning center na ito. Meron silang after-school programs na nag-e-enhance sa unique learning and cognitive capabilities ng bawat bata. Alamin natin kung paano nito nagawang makipagsabayan sa mga naunang competitors.
Aside from using high-quality teaching methodologies, pwede rin mag-offer ng after-school programs upang magkaroon ng lamang sa kompetisyon, gaya ng ginawa ng Educare Intervention Incorporated, na affiliate rin ng Hills Learning Zone.
So, Ms. Leia, ano yung mga daily operations and strategies to implement?
What we do, of course, we promote our programs. We have a marketing arm to promote our programs. Also, the staff here are well equipped to know na just in case we have phone calls or walk-ins, they're well aware of the programs that we provide. And there also a close communication between the teachers, the parents, and the students, so that the parents will know, ano na ba yung, how are they developing na? How is my child developing? And it's mostly that. It's a very close communication with the parents and all of our staff as well.
So, Miss Ana, paalam mo naman sa amin, ano ba yung mga mistakes to avoid kung magtatayo ka ng ganitong after-school programs?
Okay, basically, it's a volatile market. Okay, so when you say after-school programs, first of all, know your market very well. Study the program that you are investing into. Know the benefits, know the pros and cons. As you study the program and as you really direct yourselves into understanding who your clientele base is, then you will exactly know who are you going to target your programs to, because even your efforts for marketing, for press releases, for social media efforts, you will be more in sync with the market that you would want to address. Second is, you have to equip yourself with the proper staff. Things to avoid, there are no perfect teachers or perfect staff members in any establishment. So, in terms of avoiding mistakes, I think it's always best to establish a very good professional relationship with them. That's first and foremost. Second is also to make sure that when you hire someone, you know that that person understands the philosophy, the program, is committed to working with you, because problems will only come in if there are conflicts in the internal setup. And how to avoid these conflicts is, number one, you have to have a clear guidelines with the ones you employ. Second, there are contracts, of course, that will keep your teachers and your employees with you. And of course, you create a happy and personalized environment with them so they would like to come to work.
Yes. At kung magtatayo naman ako, halimbawa, ano ba ang ideal location?
With regard to location, it's ideal na you're amidst not just residential but also commercial and business, because since we're in Ortigas area, there are a lot of condominiums, there's a lot of small businesses, there's also schools around us. So it would be ideal that the location for a preschool would tackle most, if not all, the that I mentioned, all the criteria that I mentioned.
Foot traffic is very important.
Ayun,
foot traffic
isa pa yan.
Oo, kasi in our case, the Educare programs, Instant Readers, the Singapore Math and Kinder Music, dito kami located in the business district, the central business district of the Ortigas Center. And if you look at our location, as what Ms. Leia said, malapit kami sa residential, malapit kami sa mga schools, at malapit rin kami sa mga offices.
Napansin ko nga.
Yes. So, ideally, foot traffic, you can come walking, you can also take your vehicle, and public transportation is easily accessible.
Bukod sa accessibility ng location, mahalaga rin na i-consider ang mga sumusunod. Dapat ay malayo sa mapanganib na lugar gaya ng ilog, garbage dump sites at main highways. Dapat din na matibay ang building structure. Dapat ay may proper fire exits and alarm system. Ang classroom ay dapat spacious at may maayos na ventilation. Mayroon dapat playground, clinic, library, canteen at sapat na restrooms. You may secure a complete list of structure requirements and other accreditation guidelines from the Bureau of Elementary Education Division.
If you'd like to invest in after-school programs, one is you have to believe in the program. That's first and foremost. Because if you don't believe in the program, it's very difficult to market the program. You have to be a believer of your program.
Yes. Unang-una yan.
Dapat yung unang fan ng program mo. Second is, of course, you have to put your heart and dedication into the program because it's going to be a very challenging climb up there with competition, with the ever-changing market, with the modernization of times and the advancement of technology and also the influences of social media and the marketing efforts which encompasses the new generation right now. The after-school program market is also very tricky. So you have to put your heart and soul into it so that when times go, difficult in the business side, you know that you are just there to hang on and to survive. Because if you don't put your heart into it, then pag nawala na yan or it's not going well, then yung self-esteem natin bumababa rin.
I'd like to add also, Natasha, that as a parent, of course, we're partners, no? Kami ni Anna. But what I wanted to do was to enrich the child. Kumbaga, it's not all business. It's not all profit.
Exactly, yes.
But it's you want to make a difference on the child's life and his upbringing, in his physical abilities. So that's why I also partnered with them because I know that it's not just my child who can benefit from it, but also the other numerous children for a brighter future for them, for a better career or enrichment for themselves.
After establishing your preschool business, ipaalam ito sa mga tao sa pamamagitan ng paglalagay ng mga flyers and posters sa mga lugar na madalas puntahan ng mga magulang, gaya ng grocery stores, library, parks, and community centers. Pwede ring maglagay ng ads sa local newspapers. At bukod dito, kausapin ng mga local schools na walang preschool programs na i-refer kayo sa mga naghahanap.
Starting a preschool can be both profitable and fulfilling experience. Nagbibigay ito sa business owner ng satisfaction na makakontribute sa paghubog sa ating future leaders ng ating lipunan.
Ang isa pang advantage ay madali itong iset up dahil wala naman masyadong legal requirements na ihahanda. Pero mga kasambahay, kung magtatayo kayo ng learning center, maraming mga business permits and requirements ang dapat niyong ihanda.
Pero pag nagkaroon naman ng magandang reputasyon ng iyong preschool, ilang steps lang o ilang taon, maaari mo na itong i-extend into a full-fledged elementary school or high school. Sana mga kasambahay, marami kayong natutunan ngayong araw na ito at asahan yung marami pa kaming ihatid sa inyo sa mga susunod na linggo. Until next time mga kasambahay, dito lamang sa inyong Business Colonaire, ang
Bread and Butter!